And we can go ahead and begin.
Well, thank you. I'd like to call the meeting to order. And Jamie, can you help me?
Sure, absolutely. So I will go ahead and establish a quorum, but I will go ahead and do one announcement. And that is unfortunately, Chair Cole did have to resign from the commission. So I did want to let the commission know that that position will be included in the general recruitment that is going on for all of the commissions now. So we will be able to fill that position and it will be appointed sometime I believe in September, so that the term can begin in October. But with that, I will go ahead and call roll, which is Commissioner Dixit, Commissioner Buckles, Commissioner Chapman, Commissioner Gallagher Thompson, and Commissioner Basiji. So we do have a quorum of 5 commissioners present. And then we go to Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We now have one person giving a public comment that's not on the agenda. And we welcome.
If you can go ahead and fill out, what she has. Perfect. Just wanted to make sure, and she's, turned that
Her
into.
name is Carly. Magazine. Very good. Yes. We'd like to welcome you and you have about 3 minutes to address if you can have now. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay. And I stand. Yes, yes. Okay, this is just a thought I had, and it relates to health, which I heard a word earlier about that. But for seniors, like when there's an event that's going on downtown, this is sound, you know. Yeah. Okay. So when there is an event going on, whether it's a senior event or just a Saltus and girls event. I want to encourage seniors to park following and walk to the events. And what I see typically in the next door and some of the other places in the village is that they complain about the parking. And I think it would be interesting if there was a walking organization just for the events that can be included in that event. So that's possibly for here. March across San Antonio, the way of it. It's really good for health. So that's that. Very good. Thank you. I lost here. We both want to. Because I'm the one who would say, oh, can I park inside? But thank you so much, Kasha. All right. Can we go to the next item, please? Which is to approve the minutes of our regular commission meeting of June 2nd, 2025. How many
We skipped a step. We need a motion. I moved in for the movie. And I have a thought. So we have a motion, then we need a second. Now we can do it.
Anyone in favor of approval of minutes?
Any opposed?
Any opposed?
Okay, thank you. And any abstentions, I guess I should ask as well. Okay.
Would we assume if this is still unable to join us?
Yes.
Okay. All right, then we move to our one wonderful topic of the month, which is the senior health fair. And we need to start receiving
Actually, she is now able to do it. Let me. Hold on one moment, let me just.
Can I get it for a second?
Oh, yes, you can. There we go.
Is she wearing a hard hat?
Rise up.
Yeah, one of these.
So, Shabri, you can go ahead and, once you are ready.
Yes.
Hi, Chris.
I'm good.
How are you? And Chris, Chair Shabri will be, Chair Dixon will be asking you 3 questions.
I guess. Are you asking me another one? Because it doesn't come through. Just wave when I need to answer yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that.
Can we text her?
Yes,
Oh,
let me.
great. Perfect idea.
Give her a second to see if we can. Chris, can you hear us? Can you hear us at all?
Yes. She didn't answer.
So. Hold on. Can you hear us, Chris?
She got us.
I can hear you. I cannot hear Sharvery. I can hear you, Jamie.
Oh, okay. I will go ahead and ask the questions. Was the teleconference location properly noticed according to state law?
Yes,
Okay. Is the teleconference location accessible to members of the public?
for sure.
Is there anyone present in the teleconference location besides you as the commission member?
No, not at this moment.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so now that we've included Chris. Yay! Can we start with receiving ad hoc committee reports, but you were going to make an announcement?
Yeah, so we can go ahead, I can start with my report, which was included, and then the working pairs and ad hoc subcommittee can add any additional information. So before you is an update on where we are in regards to planning for the upcoming Live Well, Age Well Health Expo. At the end of our discussion, there are 2 things that I am suggesting the commission have a discussion on, which is number 1, to determine which commissioners will be in attendance for the duration and time. The actual event is 12 to 3, but setup will be at least an hour before and cleanup will be an hour after. Suggested roles, presentation room monitors. So you have 3 spaces that are designated as presentations. There will be 9 presentations total, so 3 presentations in each of the spaces. Suggestion is that there is a commissioner present to help keep the presentations on time. And also to do an introduction of the speakers and to welcome the attendees or possibly help them. They've found themselves in the wrong location, maybe indicate where they might be able to go. There will be signage in each of the spaces. But that is one of the suggestions, to have a commissioner present in each of those presentation locations. A welcome station as people enter the community center, because there are going to be, again, the 3 different presentation spaces and the vendor location, which is going to be Grand Oak. So located more in the lobby spaces so that you can welcome people as they come in. And also there will be the giveaway of the reusable grocery tote. So that welcome space can also allow the commissioners to pass out that giveaway as well. And then the feedback station, which will be a specific table that I think we can set up in the lobby space. And that will have the survey, which the commission indicated they wanted to get feedback from the attendees to know what future sessions the attendees might be interested in seeing in the presentation series that the Adult 50 Plus, sometimes after lunch or other sessions that they host. So it could be having that conversation with the attendees, or simply having them fill out a basic paper survey that we have already created. So those are some suggested roles that the commissioners can assist with. All the other setup and things will be handled by city staff in regards to getting the tables and chairs and signage up. So it's more of being engaged with the attendees that will be coming to the event. So those are suggestions. Obviously, it can be open to other ideas that the commissioners have, but that is what has been put forward. Then on top of, and further into the report, I've outlined all of the marketing avenues that the city will be doing. The other suggestion is to have the commissioners determine additional marketing avenues. So whether it is you sharing with your own networks of neighbors, friends, posting on local community boards. So if there are places that you frequent in the area and they have community boards, that you're able to put up a flyer, locating those places, and city staff can provide you with as many posters or flyers that you may need that would assist you in getting that information out. And impromptu clubs, I'm sure there are many places and events that you may frequent. If they might be so inclined, it might be helpful just to share a heads up that the event is coming, and you can bring flowers or posters that help market the event as well. So again, those are just suggestions on takeaways that we should decide upon at the end of our conversation. Further in, if you look at the actual report, we have all 9 slides actually filled for presentation. So that is over the course of the topics that the senior commission selected for the presentations, which includes an overview, nutrition, movement, healthy sleeping habits, social connectedness, caregiving, and then public safety. The next pieces, it actually lists the schedule, so who is located in each of those spaces. Those 3 spaces are this room, which is the Sequoia room, the room across the way of the lobby, which is the Manzanita room, and then the Apricot room, which is very close to the Grand Oak room. So it has a very nice, I think, connection for all of the spaces that were selected. And each of those, I've included, the setup, the speaker time, which is roughly 30 minutes for the presentation, 10 minutes for question and answers at the end. And then it does allow time for the speaker to clean up their things. And it also provides transition time for attendees. So if they are planning to go to multiple presentations, or in between time, if they wanted to do a quick walk to the vendor area, they could visit a few, then go to another session, and it allows some breathing room between the presentations so that they have the ability to engage in all of the elements that you have for the event. Then the final part is a listing of the vendors which have been secured so far. And there is a wide range of vendors that have been asked to participate. So, and the final part, marketing that the city plans to do. We do have a created flyer and a poster. All of this, and I can show you a sample of what that is going to look like. We will be placing A-frame signage around the community center and also down at Grant Park, which is our satellite adult 50+ site. We will have a banner, which the location the commission selected was the San Antonio El Camino site. And that will be basically mid-August through the event week. And then we also will be doing 2 town crier ads leading up to the event. We will be doing social media posts. There will be an ad on the community center monitors starting mid-August or soon, August. There will be a website listing both for the event itself, which will have additional detail on the event, in addition to listing on the Parks and Recreation calendar and the city's general calendar as well on the website. And we've also included the electronic newsletters that are being sent out by Parks and Recreation, and also the bi-weekly newsletter through the city manager. So all of those elements the city is already taking care of. Yes.
What about the article that I provided? Are we going to use that?
Yes, we are.
Oh, good.
Yes. So that is included in the town crier pieces. If there are other marketing, so I would want that into if there are other items besides the town crier that we want to submit that to, we can absolutely do. But the town crier is the main one that the city usually submits most of our information to because it is our open paper. Yeah.
On the notices, do we say that it's free and there's no registration and come and go as you wish?
Yeah.
Things like that. Okay, great.
Yes. And so I will go ahead and just to show, let me actually bring this up really fast. Well, actually, that is my staff report, which was included in the packet. I can turn it back over to the working pairs and subcommittees if there are other elements that they would like to update on.
I just have one question on what you said. Is there any, about 20 days before the town crier goes into print, we need to send an article to them about our event.
Mhm.
Has that been sent already, or is somebody coming to talk to us as a senior commission or anything like that? A reporter?
Well, as Commissioner Troutman mentioned, there is a blurb that was created by the marketing working pair. And so that will be submitted. And then that will be in addition to an actual color line that will be in those
Article. And is the reporter going to be invited for an event? Do we have to do that?
Absolutely, we can do that.
Who does that?
when we submit the information, we can also extend it as well.
There were a couple other avenues that might be available besides the town crier. I think I sent them to you. I mean, the post of Palo Alto, a lot of Los Altos people read. And all of a sudden during a blank, but there's an online paper, you get it every day. And they were asking for inputs. I can find my emails.
Make this a little bit bigger. A little bit too big. Okay. Let me share my screen so that you can see.
Oh, nice.
So this is, and this is the, overall kind of branding that we have chosen. I will share, Parks and Recreation hosted an intern this summer. And it is very proud of the work that she did on this particular, she actually designed the brain portion here. And so besides that, she also worked on all the other marketing collateral that is included in this. So from the posts to the banner to the flyers to all of those pieces, she did assist in creating that. So this is a sample of the information that will be released shortly.
Were there any changes made to the article?
Yes. So it was shortened so that the focus could be on the event. And then, yes, I did forward, that information. I can re-forward it as well.
To,
Yes. Yes.
Local.
She, I believe she is in Palo Alto and currently going to the University of Texas. Texas. And her focus is actually in graphic design and a study of informatics.
Can we move to the subcommittee reports now?
Yes.
All right, very good.
But I have a question about what Jamie said before.
Jamie shared the question.
It's okay, see if I can remember. What is, when do we say what roles we would like to play? Is that now or later? Or?
Yeah, I just say we could do that once all the working pairs and subcommittees have given their reports. Anything that I may have missed or that you would like to share for the conversation, and then we can decide what those roles might be.
And how do we get the flyer? I need like a dozen.
Yes.
Do I get them from you or from the staff or from you at some point?
Yes. Yeah, no, we can go through all those details. So I would say let's do the working pair subcommittee reports.
So,
You just want a list of places so we can put the flyers, like Howard's workshop, hair salon. Something good. That's a structure sport. Speak for himself. I am. If the shoe fits, gonna have to, I was doing it, yes.
so, yeah. Then this guidance can be given at the end to Jamie. Yeah, we can give her this at the end. So let's start with the first subcommittee. Who would like to present? I can go ahead and give you the subcommittee that Chris Olson and I have. Chris and I worked on the vendor list, and Chris has a couple of things that she's asked me to present in case she could not be heard. So the first thing that I wanted to say is done an incredibly good job of finding vendors. And we have about 20 vendors confirmed, and Chris is still working on getting more, just completely confirmed and ready. So she's asked for one question, Jamie.
Mhm.
She says, is it possible that we don't lock the tables for the vendors and we keep it open till the end of August so that she can confirm with you? And if there are more than 20 vendors who can come in, and we accommodate them. So we don't lock the vendor list now. We keep that open.
Absolutely. So, what I will say, in my experience with events is that even if they are confirmed, there will sometimes be no-shows
So,
the day of the event.
I
So although this is the list that has been confirmed to date. And so if there are additional, now obviously we can't go more than 25 max that the space can, will be a little tight, but it can accommodate. And we're well below that. We're, I think, I did not do the count, but I think we're about 20.
There are 20.
And so we have space for additional, and if more come up, absolutely. We just would not go above the 30. But knowing, and in my experience, you just have to be flexible. In some of the events that we've had, I will say 90%, we may have one or two that may not show up. So we will do the outreach to confirm and make sure they have all the information, but we will go into it knowing that there might be.
So the outreach is what I want to talk to you about and to the rest of the commissioners. Some of the people whom I've spoken with and who had confirmed with me, we've already connected them with Jamie. They've already received the preliminary note saying, you are going to be the vendor, the event is on September 9th, your table will be given to you at the venue, all of that. They're still waiting for the marketing materials. And what they're saying to me is that once we see these things in our hand, we know for sure that we are presenting there until we see. So what's the date? I can tell them. Are we going to get them this stuff and a letter from you by end of this week?
Yes, so plan was to make sure that the commission is, with all of these pieces that we're discussing today, that everything is good. And then that notification is planned to go out by the end of this week.
Okay, one more question, sorry. Chris had asked me to tell you in case her communication doesn't work, that she would like to send that email out. So she would like to be the person sending that email out along with you to the vendors because she's had a close relationship in getting them up to here. On the other hand, I would not. I'm very happy to let this and handle this sending out messages portion. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes, it's okay, Chris. Okay, so remember that on that, any,
Is there any specific system by which the vendors were selected? Some policy or, idea of why they would be here?
yeah, I can answer that. So Chris and I met with the Cupertino Healthcare Director. She was the director, yeah, the director, they just had a senior healthcare and they called it AUL, similar name and title as ours. We met her, we talked to her about what the interest was, and she's had these health fairs the last 3 years. And that gave us an idea of what to look for. Then we approached our focus, which was Alzheimer's, dementia, exercise and nutrition. And we tried to get vendors who were doing things related to that. For example, I found a person who handles mobility and so talks about wheelchairs, talks about sending, mobility devices to people who need it. I also contacted the Eltamina Hospital, and we have a nutritionist coming from there to talk, similar kind of thing. Chris went to several vendors in the care, the assisted living facilities, avenidas, all of those. So our vendor selection was based on basically our fee.
So it's not a free for all.
It wasn't free for us.
Very much subject to.
Right, and also what the county provides, for example, if it's information from fire, from emergency services, what the county provides. Those people also have been invited, police, who can give us help, in terms of senior. So those were the people who we approached. And then some people came to us. For example, the people who are offering jazz exercise demonstrations, they give the jazz exercise exercise classes here. And so when they heard about this, they approached me.
Are there other exercise related classes given here at the center?
There are absolutely both here and some of our other city facilities as well. Garden House and Grant Park are other locations that we have. And actually, the two jazzercise individuals that will be providing demonstrations, one actually teaches classes here at the community center, the other teaches classes down at Grant Park. So there is representation of classes that are available throughout the city. But on top of that, that is just a very small selection. There are other classes like Tai Chi, yoga. There are some other classes that the city offers. Now, obviously, we couldn't offer a large number of demonstrations. There were some specific time slots. So obviously, those classes, we will include information because we do have our fall and winter activity guide. So that encompasses everything that our department offers.
See, jazzercise, are they gonna run a class in a room?
It will be a sample, again, just a demonstration, so that information about the importance of movement and the classes and the type of things that they do in the classes. That will be what is presented, but it is more of a demonstration and presentation versus an actual class that they will.
Not gonna get it.
I would think that the yoga and Tai Chi would also be very useful because these are worldwide activities for students.
And that's a great suggestion.
I guess the people who are presenting in here at the center, contact them and see if they would be willing to give in one of the open spots.
At the moment, there are no. So some of the presentations have been taken at this point. So that is something that we could possibly get feedback. And if more people want to see that kind of information, we can incorporate that in a future presentation. But for this particular event, all of the slots for presentations have been filled.
In China, Tai Chi is almost demanded by seniors. And you see groups of 500.
Sure.
I don't know if it would take Tai Chi when I was done first.
Shall we move on?
Yes, please. Next subcommittee. Volunteer, please.
We can talk about the presenter. Oh, microphone, yeah, it's on the.
And then we just have to flip the switch there. Yeah.
Okay, so for the presenters, principal functions to shall be described is what we will from the plan jury, and also from the see what the change. Also, we charge is just not the green as well. I think the list is pretty good, you know, people are not losing the list, and people have to burn, you know, I think that. But I think it's been a great process and Bill and we will, the three of us and together in this journey, and
I just have a question. I needed to look up who the presenters were and Google gave me an idea, but what I was thinking was maybe we can have a little poster or something. Everybody knows who they are, and since they're all going to be in this room, maybe just a little poster board outside, saying who outside.
So clarification, there will be a large A-frame poster board that has the schedule and location. Within that, each of the individuals has a background biography. And so what our plan is to include that on the event webpage so that people that want to get more information can do so in that way. There will be a schedule shown in front of each of the spaces so that it is clear the time frame and who will be talking and the topic that they will be talking about.
That would be very nice.
So we already have that for each of the presentation spaces.
Chris is on mute. Do we want to ask her if she wants to tell us something?
Chris, do you have any comments?
Maybe we have a bell or something that rings to give an announcement that the speakers are going to be starting rather than just an announcement so people are aware of. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can, and that can be done. We don't, and that actually maybe we can do in the vendor space, just to let people know when the next session, maybe a 5-minute marker before the hour sessions, the session starts.
I love it.
So we can absolutely do that in the vendor space. There isn't, and maybe we could set up, we do have a portable that we could do an announcement in the general lobby area as well. So we can definitely do that. Great suggestion.
The other thing with people that are running the session, to be able to tell the speaker, the time is up, you know.
Yes.
There's a number on the.
Absolutely, and going back, that's a great set. The room monitor will be, I think, an important role to, again, keep that time. It's always helpful to be on time so that the attendees can make sure that they can get to the other presentations if needed.
Rather than room monitor, maybe we need a moderator at the speaker side. So let's not call it moderator, maybe an assistant or so at the speaker side so that they can signal a buzz.
We have a commissioner in the room. Everyone, 2 fingers, I think
Yeah.
communication will be adequate.
The same person can also introduce the speaker. Yeah. So, yeah, we can choose that again, okay.
So on something we've done in the past is have those 5 minutes, you know, 5 minutes left. You know, have to let it, you know, I'm trying to get, you know, everyone's like, and I think people can have a full group of them place themselves. So,
Yeah.
it's, I'm going to do it for the people that I recruit if you like, but I think I'd be doing it all of them, you know.
Okay, can we have if we are done, can we go to the marketing? The working committee for the report, please.
Chris and I were all working and we were working, getting
Shown, I can actually show you,
Moving back.
yes,
Oh, nothing for you.
give me just a moment, I will show you. We'll just share my screen.
I love the quizzes. Oh, nice. Wow,
Good.
nice.
Fabulous.
So that was the green tote will look like.
So have we made this meeting?
Yes, and so this is a larger tote, so it is 13 inches by 12 inches by 8 inches, so it has a decent size. So that all of the information and things that the vendors might provide, there will be something that the attendees can carry all of that information. So that is, have not received them yet, but the order is in. So that is what the giveaway looks like.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Is everybody getting a copy of the article?
Yes.
Very nice. Okay, and we will jump in and talk about the committee that Dolores, Dr. Gallagher Thompson and I were part of, which is our food committee, food and refreshments. So thank you, Dolores Hills, for giving us food. Thank you. Food refreshments have been provided by Los Altos. So thank you. Now, a question for the placement. Can we use the outside corridor that has the shaded portion next to the ballroom?
Correct.
Okay.
I think that would be, make the most sense, because it will also, the plan would be to open those, obviously, weather permitting, I don't want to jinx myself by saying that, because in recreation, we have to anticipate for the unknown, but, theoretically speaking, September 9th should be nice weather. The plan would be to open up those doors so that the inside the ballroom, I call it the grand oak room, where the vendors could be placed, and then like you said, that patio area just outside would be where the tables where the refreshments would be.
Okay. And at 11 o'clock in the morning, a caterer will deliver the food. Will there be a staff member present who will?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that I'll let the Los Altos Hills people know. And yes, so I was wondering, are there cookies included? At this time, we had recommended that they have the full bars rather than cookies. But do you have a sample that you want to share?
Some samples, hoping that people would be interested in very healthy cookies, which, we have dark chocolate oatmeal, we have lemon, sample to let everyone use.
Because they're going to some caterer who will give us box meals. And that will just come with whatever they budget to provide us. And we're going to be happy to get it.
So this is from a small, sorry.
This is from a small bakery that's, run by, Ukrainian refugees, and that's one reason I support it. But the other one is because the bread is delicious, and the ingredients and so forth, and I temporarily asking him what the price would be. He also took the note, and the price would, it's not cheap, it would be $400, and I don't know if there's any budget, anywhere that would cover that. And I want to go over, you know, for the issues that you have to, you have to like the government, and I like what they're doing, so, and I brought, the little print these all together, it's 2 in each pouch, and I recommend the card. Cheaper.
So, to answer your question, at this point, I think it's already set with Los Altos Hills. They've already finished whatever discussion they want with the caterer. I am reluctant to start it all over again and reinvent the wheel. They budgeted whatever, and I'm willing to take whatever. If you really don't mind, I'd like to keep it that way. But what we can perhaps offer is a table for them to demonstrate and maybe show a helpful cooking.
That's an idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Will there be a clear,
Option,
Yeah.
things that we're.
Okay. So then, you have looked at all the vendors. Is there anything else that you want to look at? For the layout, we won't start taking the names for the commissioners who want to do the work. And that will be now. So we have, what was suggested by Jamie was to have a presentation station committee member, a welcome station committee member, 3 were, yeah, for 3, right? Yeah. 3 presentation room monitors, 3. Welcome station 1, feedback station 1.
so I think that's pretty much.
And we want to have one special person, if you've invited the speaker or the speaker knows you, that would be nice if you were close by. Especially if they arrive and you want to read them, bring them into the speaker room. So can we have a conversation on this, please?
I'm happy to volunteer for Sequoia Road. But those 3 are people I have, I'm happy to introduce them, you know, with the goal to remind them about, you know,
All 3?
also, yeah, I'm happy to stay there on all of them.
Can someone make a note, please?
Mhm.
That's it. How about 2 more presentation? One would be at the vendor area. To make sure that the vendors are all in their space, and is there some commissioner who has got
Engineer room, apricot room.
somebody will be needed in the Manzanita and the apricot, but this we're talking about the ballroom, the grand room. Do we need anyone here? Jamie?
So the location of the welcome station and the feedback station will probably be in the lobby space.
Here.
Conduct. And so we can do those. It sounds like, Commissioner Gallagher Thompson would like to be stationed here in Sequoia.
Yeah.
We would need one for Manzanita and one for Apricot as well. Is there a commissioner interested?
Yeah, let's talk about those 2. I don't want them to be sent. Is there any commissioner interested in the Manzanita room?
I can't answer today, but it's because we do have to get that to like tomorrow or after.
Okay. CBD.
I'm happy to do anything, so I'm sorry, no.
No, no, it's a very good.
For me,
Okay.
close, so you need to be moved, you can't be such.
No, I'm.
Actually, Commissioner Buckles, if you would be room monitor for Apricot, because I know you're, that is one of the presenters that you had secured, as well, which was, Linda Conover.
Yeah.
And then Los Altos Police Department and then Friendly Voices, would be there as well. Is that of interest to do the room monitor for Apricot?
I can do that with.
But I was thinking, since he and I are part of the flow, if there are any questions that occur at some point during the flow of the event, and he's stationed in Apricot, then what do I do?
So there will be, city staff working the event besides the commissioners.
Oh,
So there will be additional help through that as well.
you're at Apricot then.
Yeah. Activity for given room doesn't require being there continuously or does it?
It probably would, and so if there's another role, because there's the feedback station, which I know was of interest to you as well, to see what other future topics, attendees might be interested in. The room monitors, it would be, helpful to be there throughout the time frame, because we can, as was suggested, we can create just small times that say, 5 minutes, 10, 5, and you need to wrap up. So we can do that, and then, there will be obviously transition time, so, there will be time if you need to use the restroom, would like to walk around, and then maybe, we can talk through some more of the details once we know who's going to be a room monitor. I can walk through all of those, specific tasks.
So what are we discussing now? I mean, I'm happy to be whatever. Put me on the Apricot room if you want. I've managed hundreds of engineers, so.
This is a piece of cake.
Okay.
So here's one condition. Since, Linda Conover from caregiving, who will be speaking at 2:10, was somebody who Dr. Buckles knows, maybe at that time he can be there and welcome her. But before, there are already 2 times, nobody can,
I
in the
can.
Apricot room, right?
And anything,
Yeah, that way you can be at the feedback station earlier and then go and help out. Is that okay?
We can, that makes the schedule complex. So we can split up the time frames if that is what the commission would like to do.
I think somebody should be assigned to the whole thing.
Yeah, but that makes it a little bit simpler.
No meeting.
Well, that
is. That's
what we should do.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. All right.
You can come over and shake hands. You can come over and shake his hand.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Mandatory review will tell us tomorrow. If not, we can assign it to somebody else. If I assign,
Yes.
okay, may I ask Chris, you worked harder with all the vendors. Would you be able to make a few turns around and make sure that all the vendors are doing what they're supposed to do and are representing what our team is?
Yeah, Chris, maybe, given that, feedback, Commissioner Dixit, maybe we can do maybe the welcome station, because that probably will be, is that something you would be interested in, Chris? Okay.
Right.
Let's keep that alone and take the bottom.
Is going to start like phase, this is the start of the event. Please, can we have? This is the whole event, we're going to have to. Yes.
My sense is that I think one of us ought to do it.
Yeah, so.
Awesome. Yeah.
So Chris and I had talked about this and I had suggested that she invite or whoever invite the two mayors
Mhm.
to open
Oh,
it.
yeah,
Oh.
good.
So I don't know if that's been done.
Not yet, but we can, absolutely.
Alright, and then we can be back at this meeting. But so anyway, I think the mayors, if one or both were available, that would be good. That's very nice. I don't know if Chris heard that, but it was her idea. Did you hear that, Chris? Yeah.
So the city staff
And
was
so,
really
like,
careful.
Okay,
so forth, yeah.
and who closes?
I'm looking to
Who closes the event? But you should, but we need to set up that time. Right, we should do it.
Essence is that people will,
Then I'm aware.
drift away, and I'm not sure the end is really, I'll be shutting it down. No, I'm not saying, I'm not proposing to do it, but I'm not, but it's necessary.
There's another option, which would be if the speaker, however many remain, would be willing to have a panel and have a conversation with whoever has clashed it there at the event. Particularly to harvest the importance of different kinds of health from the audience.
Do you think the 12 people will do it?
Pardon?
Do you think the 12 o'clock people will stay till 3?
What I'm concerned about is there's not a very solid thread amongst all of them,
Yeah.
so we can have a panel about it, so. But it's a good idea, don't get me wrong, but yeah.
It looks good. So I have to do this day. It's a nice name.
If we did recommend that, I would, if I am free from, I think you would, be happy to, kind of manage that.
Of course, the other thing is that the speakers may not want to stay that long.
Yeah, whatever does, which is, if nobody wants to stay, then I would say, so thank you very much for coming.
But we have to tell them from before, right?
Yeah.
Can we know that time? We can talk to the speakers and ask them, can you stay on?
Well, at this point, and I would say staff would recommend against that, only because that would put us past the time frame of the event.
That's true.
The event is scheduled from 12 to 3, and the presentations are already set at roughly 40 minutes with 30 minutes presentation, 10 minutes of Q&A, and then kind of 10 minutes in between for transition. That would put us over the 3 o'clock time frame. So that would be the only, that would change at least the schedule. And there have been several that have already listed that they can only be there for their specific.
Right, everybody, but we have like a week. So what much time do we have for this thing? It's a week, right? Well, the actual health thing.
None for.
Something like September.
So we are not quite, a month out, all of the information is about ready to be.
Several days, yeah. Well, I think, timing on what, Will said, it might be appropriate to have panels every so often, like what, every month at a time. The panel really defined, topic and list of, participants amongst the professionals that are coming in addition to the, that much of the
Other speakers? Well, I guess, kind of with what is already scheduled.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm trying to make sure that we don't end up mixing what was there, but not included in this, but have it as an ongoing effort, ongoing events that might be beneficial to the community of Senage. But that's, I'm not sure if staff is.
Absolutely, and again, that's
Yeah.
part of the feedback station, we'll have surveys available, so if that is of interest. we can absolutely take that feedback and have it as a future presentation.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think include, like, as you've highlighted, including it for this particular event where all of the time slots have been filled, that would, if that, it's not impossible, but, I think staff would recommend against it, because then it would shorten the presentations even further to make time for a panel at the end, or it's changing the length of time of the event, which 3 hours is already a decent length of time for that.
And so, how a really defined topic is a very good idea, but not necessarily as part of this.
I think at least we need closure. And that could be just one of the commissioners saying, thank you very much for attending.
That's well.
May I volunteer to do that?
Oh, absolutely, but
I could go to the right.
You're next.
Speak for, so.
Be brave, I will wear myself.
I would have you.
Thank you for everybody, and we'll invite all the commissioners to join us in the same time.
You have to find, you have to find a location that you're gonna do that at.
And I was starting to say I have a time frame, so I have to be out of here by 5:15. So are you gonna finish?
Yeah, sure.
What, today?
Yeah, she wants to meet.
I'm trying to go back.
I'll do that.
At the end of our agenda.
Well, I think there's a few more items, huh?
So we have actually finished whatever we were going to discuss about today. We've assigned our commissioners. We've talked about opening and ending. And we've talked about all 3 stations that were recommended, the presentation, the speakers and the feedback station. So we've talked about everything. Is there something else you'd like to discuss?
Well, I thought we have other things on the agenda, maybe I'm wrong.
No, there are a handful, but I don't believe that those will take too much time.
Okay.
Is there anything else on the health fair?
Well, I have a question about the AV. About the AV, so what we can see on the summer, the instance is really for the summers.
Correct.
Okay, the engine chat is on the margin of the
That's just city staff. The manager will to manage to introduce the speaker, keep them on time. I would just say, welcome people and say, as they come in, greet them and just say thank you for attending. And then keep the speaker on time to say, okay, we're done. And then make sure the next speaker gets there. City staff will make sure that the AV and presentation stuff is functioning correctly.
I had a question from one of these three speakers on the aquarium room, if they have handouts. The staff make copies of the handouts, or should they be the copies?
We are happy to do the copies and that can be included in the outreach. When we finalize all of the logistics, we can make sure if they send it ahead of time, we're happy to do the copy. They're listed, they have. We can do that as well.
Okay, great, thank you.
Do we have to come up with the words to say to introduce a person? Are they going to provide something?
Yes, that's going to be part of what outreach is, because we want to include how they want to be listed on the sign. And so we can have them share maybe just a short, exactly. I think in just a couple of sentences that can give context.
Is the moderator the person that more or less introduces them and the title and the.
And we'll make sure that that's all set.
Jacob, did you want specifics about marketing?
Oh, no, thank you for the reminder, Candace. In regards to what is needed, and that was a question that was asked earlier. What you would have to do is email either myself or Candace and let us know how many copies of the flyer or poster that you would need. And then we can set up and have that available for pickup here at the community center's front desk. And you can pick that up and share that with your networks or community boards, wherever you would like that to post. You would just need to reach out and let us know how many copies you would need, and we will make that available to the commissioners.
Can do that.
And just to review that there's flyers
Yes,
and posters.
yes. So the flyer is just a basic size sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11. The poster size is 11 by 17, so it is a larger, so it's bigger than a piece of paper so that it's a little bit more eye-catching. So those are the two I would say that would probably make the most sense to have printed and available.
Okay, and just, and because Jim pointed that out, if all the commissioners were to get together at the end for a photo session and to say goodbye, where would be a good location to meet? Would it be at the front desk?
It could be actually one of those, this space might be good, or actually the Grand Oak might be, I think, the most logical place because that will probably have the most activity. Probably there will be quite a few people and, more interesting backdrop for a photo.
So then maybe we can print that and closure of closing ceremony and a random room with all commissioners present.
No, and we will have, again, there is a schedule, that will be posted, so we can include that as well.
So then we can all meet there. Yeah. Next item on the agenda, work plan.
Inside the packet is just where, the work plan currently sits. What is upcoming, we will have, and this is just a reminder, our September meeting is going to be a special meeting because the first Monday is always Labor Day. So there is no meeting that first Monday. It is literally the day before our event. So Monday, the 8th is when our special September meeting will be. And then we will have our event the following day. So we will still have the month of September, to fine tune, anything the day before. Yes. At that point, it was just very minor little things.
I'm sorry, can you say that again? I'm trying to look for it.
The current work plan has everything. We will have the meeting in September, the first Monday, again, if you see that it's canceled, it's because our regular meeting is canceled because it falls on Labor Day. We will have a special meeting on the following Monday, which is the day before our event.
Yeah.
The focus going forward, again, the other event that is being planned by the commission is the Fall Fling, which is the collaboration with Club 55, an expanded event in October. So that will also, in September, we may want to have a more detailed discussion on some of the working pairs to work through for that event, but that can hold until September.
But on September 8th, we'll only be talking about 9. So for Fall Fling, are we going to have another meeting in September?
So it can be a small, I will just say by September 8th, most everything should be fine. So I don't think we will have to have as lengthy of a discussion at that point. So I think a portion of that meeting can go towards assigning maybe some of the working pairs that can start the work for the upcoming Fall Fling. We will also have our October meeting because the event itself is not until mid-October. So there will still be time. There will be 2 meetings September and October to finalize those details.
Dates of that, when
Friday, October 17th.
The third Friday.
The third Friday. It is usually the third Friday of the month.
Okay,
Are there any adjustments that are needed? But again, the work plan should, really highlight what is currently being done. And a lot of this has, most been completed. With the exception of the.
so could we leave the discussion of the work plan and its updates to our October meeting?
To the next meeting, yes.
That would help.
Okay.
And then the next thing is, any informational items.
Yep, so in your pocket, you have quite a few flyers. This weekend, we have another family fun day, which is August 9th. And that the theme of that will be superheroes. But we have that. The other one that I will highlight before I turn it over to Chris for some of the other adult 50+ highlights, and then Los Altos Hills, is we are hiring for a few positions. I will say in particular, to support our pickleball program at Egan Gym, and then also our teen space here at the community center. Those are two particular positions that we are looking. So if you happen to know anyone that might be interested, please share it out here. I'm sorry. Yes. And then with that, I'll turn it over to Chris to highlight some of the information, and then Amina, who is currently virtual as well too.
I have 2 items to share with you this afternoon. There are 2 upcoming excursions from the Adult 50+ program. We're going to Half Moon Bay, Farmer John's Pumpkin Farm, for an experience, some fall farm fun. In October, then we have a more local meetup at the Loyola Fire Station for a behind-the-scenes tour of your local fire station. More details are on these flyers, and of course, you can always pick up the latest iteration of the program brochure that's available at the 50+ centers.
So Chris, I have a question for you. For these events, are you taking a bus?
Good question. Yeah, so the mini trip, there is a fee, and the fee is included it's a kind of a luxury, comfortable bus, coach service that includes transportation. The local fire department does not have a bus.
But when you take a bus and you go there, I'm trying to encourage my group to join. Will there be somebody there who has some CPR training or anything at all? Similar to that?
Yes.
All of you have some of that thing.
Yeah, all of the staff have, we have access to basic first aid, basic supporting of care. We have emergency phones we keep with us at all times. And of course, just basic sort of hosting support of keeping an eye on the group and helping with moving around through space safely.
And people bring like wheelchairs or rollers.
The bus, I can get you some more information about the bus. I would, off the top of my head, I've seen buses that do have a lift. The bus that we typically ride does not include, doesn't have a lift.
I'm pretty impressed. Could you meet there? Drive your own car and meet there.
Yeah, with prior communication, anything is possible, yeah.
All right, and then that is everything from Los Altos, at least flyer wise. Amina, did you have updates, or would you like to provide the context for the flyers that were included?
Yes, so I included a flyer for our annual hoedown. That will be held on September 6th over at the Westwind Barn. So if you are free that day, come and join us for the atmosphere. There's going to be live bluegrass music. There's going to be a horse show hosted by Victoria Dye Equestrian. There's going to be a barbecue food truck, an ice cream truck, and some fun activities. So if you're available, swing on by.
Is there a charge on that or? how's it doing?
It's the, I mean, it's the hoedown event, free event.
Yes, it is a free event with the option to purchase food.
Okay. I think that is it for the flyers. The next part that, which goes, into the, staff oral reports.
Yes.
The only other addition, that we do, as I mentioned earlier, is the fall winter activity guide is now available. Registration for Los Altos residents will actually begin next Monday on, August 8th. I might be saying the date wrong, next Monday. And then the following Monday after that, it opens to everyone. So if you have not, and hopefully you have gotten the, your activity guide in the mail. We did, mail that out to all of the residents as well. But if you have not had yours, we do have some available for pickup here at the center as well too. That is the only other additional information I wanted to highlight.
Very nice, thank you. And we enjoy our meeting.
Future agenda items.
Which again. So hopefully we already addressed that.
Yes. Is there anything else?
The source was representative.
Yes, Commissioner Cohen, she was the representative for SourceWise. Our plan is to actually bring that back and then we can add it as a future agenda item. To make that selection in October. Once the new commissioners are seated, we thought that would make the most sense timing wise. So we will plan to agendize that for the October meeting.
What is source one?
SourceWise, and it used to be called the Council for Aging. I might be mixing up a few of the words there, but it is representative in Santa Clara County. So there are a number of cities and other agencies within the county that serve on this board. They have a number of subcommittees that talk about a few different topics as well. The only caveat I will put is that it makes for a long Monday. Their meetings are the first Monday of the month from 12 to 2 virtually. And then we go right into our senior commission meeting. So it is a commitment because I believe they do meet once a month, I believe. So more information will be included once we make that have the discussion to maybe make a selection in October. And for more information, there is a website as well. I'm happy to send that link to the website if you wanted more information about that particular organization.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
So the meeting.
That's done.
Thank you.
Very interesting.
I need a result. Bye-bye.
Yeah.